One of the most important pieces of your astrological chart is your moon sign, and this reflects where the moon was in the sky at the moment of your birth. Your moon sign shapes your emotions and your soul. It's all the profound, hidden and subconscious stuff going on below the surface, your deepest needs and desires, and what helps you feel emotionally secure. Your moon sign is your internal mood and your emotional needs. This is the part of you that you hide from people. But if they understand where your moon placement is, they will know how to meet your subconscious expectations and how they should treat you. The moon's position when you were born can shed light on your inner self. The moon's sign, house, and phase can tell you a lot about your emotional instincts and habits. The moon can help define your emotional development or express the unconscious side of your personality. It can explain why you do what you do. Your moon sign can also influence how strongly your sun sign is expressed. For example, if you're a fiery Aries with a mellow Taurus moon, your aggressive nature may be toned down by the steady Taurus influence. Or if you're a watery Scorpio with a watery Pisces moon, you could be extra emotional and intuitive, since these are the traits of water signs. The moon's position in your birth chart can explain why two people with the same sun sign can be so different. The moon is like the inner life that only those of you that are very close get to see or experience. It is the private you that reveals itself only behind closed doors. It is also the unguarded you that has to act on instinct, and the one that comes out in a crisis. In astrology, the moon is the instinctual self, and because of that, some might not feel comfortable with its full expression. In times of great stress, these qualities could be exposed and make the person feel strangely out of place and out of control, as if they have completely lost it. And you know what it's like when the sun is eclipsed by the moon. You might feel like a fully fledged lunatic. In your daily life, the moon is what you fall back on to restore your sense of emotional security. For some, this means reaching out socially, but for others, this could mean retreating to a solitary corner of the mind. It also speaks volumes about how you handle your intimate life. Your moon sign speaks of your inner life, your emotional responses, desires, attractions, parental influences, especially from the mother, as well as how you relate to women in general. Of course, it's far more complex than saying all people with Leo moons are a certain way. Instead, we look at how the moon relates to the sun and, of course, all of the other planets, and the house position is also important. But your sun and moon signs are fundamental starting points. When we know our own moon sign, we can learn to control and understand our own emotions better. When we know our emotional tendencies, we can decide if we want to be influenced or swayed by them by just recognizing them. If you want to deepen and strengthen your relationships, ask your friends and your loved ones what their moon sign is, or use the moon sign calculator in the description of this video to gain more insight as to your own moon sign and the moon sign of your loved ones. Moon sign secrets can improve our relationships with family members, co-workers, friends, and lovers. The more we work to understand someone, the less confusion and separation we will feel between us. If there is someone in your life who is really difficult for you to deal with, why not try to understand them better instead of letting them get under your skin? Imagine how much better your life could be if you just understood why people say and do things. The moon sign is actually considered the most important sign in Vedic astrology in India. Apply this to your life and see how much your relationships improve. The moon is in a new constellation every couple of hours. If you have a birth chart created, you can find your lunar sign by looking for the symbol of the lunar crescent to find your moon sign and house position. What follows is an exploration of the moon signs in each zodiac house and what it means. Each of these sections has been timestamped in the description of this video, so you can skip around to the signs that are relevant to you and your loved ones. The moon in Aries is ruled by the red-hot, strong-minded planet Mars, and the energy can either be motivating and assertive or determined and aggressive. The influence of Mars can make you impulsive, intense, and quick to act and overreact. Emotionally, you can be fiery with a short temper. The very essence of Aries needs competitive challenge and strives on a certain level of excitement in any form. And while it is positive to release pent-up energy, you can leave the person on the receiving end of your relief wounded for a long time after you have moved on. The great thing about Aries from an emotional point of view is that you don't hold a grudge. Once you get something off your chest, you quickly forgive and forget. The moon in Taurus influences your inner mood, making you a sensitive and caring person, which means you are well liked, but it can be taken advantage of. When in love, you give your all but expect the same back, and if you feel suspicious of your partner, you can be possessive and controlling. When your desires are not met, or you are disrespected in some way and become hurt, you can close off and repress your emotions, giving you time to sort out in your mind and heart how the land lies. If treated well, you are open, loving, and sensual, the best ever lover or friend. Your emotions are soothed by your surroundings, and you cope better with life if those surroundings provide security and comfort. The moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, means you can become bored quickly if there is not enough action to stimulate your mind, and you can often be mischievous and play tricks and mind games simply for the fun of it, meaning no harm, of course. Your challenge is to slow down and not fill every moment with constant activity, and this way you can take stock of how you feel rather than how you think. Easy enough, one would think, but not so much for a Gemini or a Gemini moon. As soon as your emotions are challenged, you can put on your rose-coloured glasses, preferring to see things the way you want, rather than how they are. On the other hand, you are clever, curious, with a playful nature, and when you allow your feelings to show, you can be very sentimental and open-hearted and an utter joy to be around. The moon in Cancer makes you a highly sensitive and emotional being. As the moon changes signs quickly, this constant change can also make you somewhat moody. You operate by your feelings, and even if something logically looks sound, you will rarely go against how you feel, and can make decisions based purely on instincts. You are easily hurt, but have an outer protection, the crab's shell, and will instinctually pull back and shut down to protect yourself. You are a savvy operator, a strong person, and you have an emotional strength that could be referred to as fragile steel. As a Cancer, you give people a certain amount of chances or warnings, and if they tamper with your heart, you have been known to cut your losses and walk away without a single glance back. Once the door is closed, it is locked. But treat you well, and your depth of emotions are revealed as loyal, protective, and nurturing. The moon in Leo gives you the confidence and stamina to take charge of your life as well as your emotions. You strive on being the leader and excel when your talents are recognized and admired. When you are emotionally out of sorts, your natural bossiness can take over, with you being petty and conceited. On the positive side, enthusiastic and extravagant, you are generous of heart and spirit, and care deeply about those who love and support you. Your emotions are closely linked to your pride, and as you love to be the center of attention, your emotions are heightened when you are out in front and proud of whom you are and what you do. The moon in Virgo says you are an intellectual being, emotionally reserved and have a strong sense of self. However, you do have a tendency to overanalyze and get too caught up in petty details that can distract your attention from the big picture and how you feel at heart level. You tend to be critical and picky, but the truth is, Virgo, you are only this way with the people that you love and care about. Otherwise, they wouldn't even rate on your radar. You are your emotional best when you can reach out and offer your services to others, but only those who appreciate your efforts. Criticism is also directed at yourself, and you can be your hardest critique, striving for the best, but often an unattainable outcome. The solution is to be kind to yourself. The moon in Libra says one of the ways you keep your emotions balanced is to continually try to keep your environment as well as the people you deal with as harmonious as possible. You seek to get along with people and can often put their needs before yours in an attempt to keep everything agreeable, which may be good for them, but in the end will unsettle you and upset your equilibrium. When you go too far in one direction of giving up too much of your own needs, the pendulum can swing the other way, and you feel taken advantage of and can become irritable and snarky. Seek the balance between your needs and those of others. That's the sweet spot. The moon in Scorpio influences your inner world with intensity, power, and the desire to probe into the very depths for truth. Emotional fulfillment lies in honest connections with others that include strong, sensitive, and passionate expression. If you are annoyed, angered, or upset, people may never know as you hide your emotions under a cool demeanor, choosing instead not to reveal your position. This can make others suspicious. And in many ways, you live for the drama of life, emotional intensity, as it makes you feel alive. On the other hand, the more control you have over your emotions, the more powerful you feel. When you mix with people you have a deep emotional commitment with, you embrace them with a love and protectiveness that is unmatched by any other. The moon in Sagittarius means your emotions are heightened with the spirit of adventure, a thirst for knowledge, and a desire to explore different belief systems. As a seeker of truth, you feel unsettled if you are required to keep a secret and can bluntly tell others what you feel they need to know. And even if the truth hurts, it will relieve emotional tension and allow you to feel comfortable once again in your own skin. You love to experience life to the full, and preferably with someone by your side. Even if you do shy away from making a commitment, you are positive and optimistic and will generally not stay in a negative mood for long, choosing to live life on a higher vibration. The moon in Capricorn influences your inner mood with a no-nonsense, driven and solitary quality. As a Capricorn, to keep your emotions equalized, you need a decompressing time between your busy schedule and before mingling with others in the outer world. But it is important not to stay in solitude for too long, so you avoid entering the space of Saturn blues. You are comfortable with your own company, but you do better when you mix with others. Your need to feel worthwhile with your place in the world can be a serious endeavor, and it is often not until years later, when you feel a sense of achievement, that you can really relax and feel settled. You don't give your heart easily, but when you do love and trust a special someone, you give it your all. The moon in Aquarius permeates your soul and your mood with individuality and a refusal to walk in anyone else's shoes. You are a trailblazer, and as such can be in your own world, leaving others to think you are standoffish, when really you are just sorting things out in your own mind. So in this sense, you do better to associate with people who are secure within themselves, secure enough to allow you the freedom to be who you are without taking your so-called aloofness personally. Only then can you truly be balanced emotionally. Otherwise, you are continually sidetracked by other people's anxieties. You can be unpredictable, and that goes for your emotions too. A good in-depth conversation with someone of substance will soothe your soul. The moon in Pisces influences your emotions with profound sensitivity and empathy, a spiritual connection, and a practice of meditative silence that allows you to access your dreams and imagination will keep your emotions in check. And a balance between escapism and reality is what helps you to be effective in the world. A sanctuary, a place you feel safe in, is a key to your happiness. You have an innocence about you, highly sensitive, and feel as well as show your emotional state easily, and for this reason you need to be selective of the people you allow in to share your life, especially as you have a tendency to care too much and can easily pick up and take on other people's attitudes and emotions. As a dual sign, the symbol of the two fishes, the key to emotional stability is to ensure you have a balance between the analytical mind and follow your instincts, your heart. Follow this rule and you will find more peace within yourself. As always, thank you for subscribing and supporting this channel. Thank you to your comments and your likes. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you all.